This Hyperloop is a concept, but in 20 years it will be reality. People can live 200 kilometers away from Chennai and reach Chennai in 30 minutes. We can ship the goods to Sri Lanka in 10 minutes. Hyperloop, not necessarily it has to work above the ground or under the ground. It can also work under the ocean. So things will dramatically change. So I can tell you so many things in digital where India will score best. Today, unless they hire a good Indian CEO, they have no future. Why? So Hyperloop can be like that. Someday, I imagine, maybe 30 years. Okay, that time it may be Adani loop or Mukesh Ambani's loop, I don't know. That is a question which the time will decide. Forget about politics because I am not a member of any political party. He speaks for Tamilians, he speaks for Tamil Nadu in a more intelligent way, but in a way that anyone can understand. He is speaking like comrades.
And now we've reached the pinnacle of today's event, the official launch of HEB. To mark this significant moment, may I request Professor Kamakoti Avargal to unveil the plaque and also request Thiru Annamalai Avargal and Thiru Shivashankaran Avargal to join this momentous occasion as our chief guests officially launch HEB. A moment of pride, culmination of hard work, vision and unwavering dedication. Shri will be presenting a short memento to our chief guest, Thiru Kamakoti Avargal. Thiru Annamalai Avargal. Thiru Shivashankaran Avargal, founder of Aircel and Shiva Group and mentor at IO Healthcare.
Heartfelt thank you to all our chief guests for this momentous occasion. A very good morning and a warm welcome to everyone gathered here. I'm thrilled to welcome you all to this special event, the official launch of HEB, founded by Thiru Shrit Suresh, student of IIT Madras from the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, before we dive deeper into today's proceedings, I would like to ask Thiru Suresh Kannan to deliver the welcome address.
Namaskaram, and thank you very much. After spending 24 years abroad, serving in 30 countries, I want to give my son an education. We came to IIT, and I'm emotional today. Done various projects, but today I'm emotional that he's not only passing out from IIT, but he's making a startup after finishing his project. We are blessed that he has studied under Dr. Kamakoti, and we are blessed that he got a professor like Kamakoti. The only thing I told him, not to keep one leg on India and one leg on Air India. Try to serve this great nation, and I say Jai Hind. Let's serve this great nation. That is our part, and Jai Hind, and bless him, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. May I now call Thiru Shivashankaran Avargal, founder, Aircel and Shiva Group, and mentor at IO Healthcare to share a few words.
Respected ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy and glad that I'm here in front of you. I love 5 people. I love IIT, I like MIT, I like Elon Musk, I like our Prime Minister Modi, and I like our Indian public because they are the customers for me. But why I mentioned Elon Musk, when I was asked to come here for Hyperloop, I was inquiring about the students about Elon Musk. And also I saw a wrong board here that made for India. No. It is make in India and made for the world. Why we should restrict even in our dreams only for India? No. You think globally. First you think like an Indian, and your thoughts and actions and work has to be like an international guy, and we should conquer. The chief guest look at Korea. When I was a student, people used to think we buy Japan. And Samsung demonstrated that they will project that Korea much better than Japan. In fact, Samsung CEO was left off by government for making some minor mistakes in Indian standards. okay, out of jail. And the president said, you please go and work and make Korean economy good. Indian economy purely depends on your hands. And fortunately, we have a very good Prime Minister of India, Mr. Modi. What is the advantage of India? What ISRO does for 450 crore landing in Mars, Elon Musk will do it in 4,500 crore. What IIT will do this loop for 100 crores or 200 crores, Elon Musk will spend 3,000 crore. So we have a total cost advantage. We can do any project in India at 10% of the cost what America does. So think like this. This hyperloop is a concept right now. But in 20 years, it will be reality. And what happens when reality is there? People can live 200 kilometers away from Chennai and reach Chennai in 30 minutes. We can ship the goods to Sri Lanka in 10 minutes. Hyperloop, not necessarily it has to work above the ground or under the ground. It can also work under the ocean. So things will dramatically change. See, take UPI. UPI was a concept, and you know who won? India. There is no system in the world as many millions of people who use UPI at the lowest cost. So I can tell you so many things in digital where India will score best. Most important, because of IITs, we gave all the global CEOs to every country in the world. Today, unless they hire a good Indian CEO, they have no future. Why? The Indians are hardworking, smart working, intelligent working. Now I want to come back and greet our IIT director. See, when I think of Dr. Kamakoti, I only think of living Abdul Kalam. If there is a chance, I want him to live 95 years out of selfish interest. What is my selfish interest? He will work for IIT and he will live his life in IIT. We should make him as director Emirates and make him to live 95. Of course, the gentleman said he won't visit 2 kilometers. He won't even get out of the gate of IIT. Because he wants to work it. Not more than 24 hours a day. Please don't work more than 24 hours a day. That is IO policy. We don't ask any employees to work more than 24 hours. It is inhuman. Okay? Now, coming back, when I think of Mr. Annamalai, I think of my elder son. He did his Carnegie Mellon and after that MBA in Harvard. By the way, I never studied in any of the universities. I am a pure 100% Indian product in every way. I married an Indian wife, I got an Indian son, I lived in India, I enjoyed India. Right now, I am very proud that I am an Indian. And Indians are my customers. And now, coming back for Mr. Annamalai, whatever videos I have seen, forget about politics because I am not a member of any political thing. He speaks for Tamilians, he speaks for Tamil Nadu in a more intelligent way, but in a way that anyone can understand. He is speaking like comrades. I saw 8 videos. Then I made a note. Siva, under no circumstances with emotion, don't become a fan of Annamalai. I am worried. If I watch 2 more videos, I will become Annamalai Dasan. So he talks so well. So welcome, sir. And with your kind words, you should encourage the students. Wherever I go, because I am a mentor to IO, without talking about one wellness, I don't stop. The 2 things I want to teach you. If you study MBBS, of course in IIT you can't study. The first class, your professor will teach you every cell has to be oxygenated. So please do breathing. Okay, breathing is not what you breathe in. What you slowly breathe out is called breathing because it allows your body to absorb the oxygen with the help of carbon dioxide. Okay, that is called VO2 max. The VO2 max determines how long you will live. You can go and search in Google or any AI. VO2 max is the only indicator of how long you will live, not your horoscope. Please understand, VO to max is your rate. But the good thing is you can increase it every 4 weeks. That is number one. The second thing, how well you will work today is purely depends upon how well you slept yesterday. So please go to bed. Please don't see iPhone, iPad, anything. Blue light will affect your sleep. Don't see anything for 2 hours. Sleep for 8 hours. Okay, these two please follow. And thanks for this opportunity for IIT and Professor and all these kind young people who came and met me and convinced me very easily to come at that time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now request the founder and CEO of HEB, Tirishan Suresh, to come over.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, namaskar, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm very happy today, very excited and very thrilled to have all of you here and share this significant moment of mine with you people who have supported me all along and have also helped me in some way or the other. And I'd also like to take this opportunity, first of all, to very warmly welcome the chief guest of our event today, Professor Kamakoti, Mr. Annamlai, and Mr. Shivashankar, all three of them who are very great celebrities and very big personalities. And aside from this, I would also like to welcome my partners, Mr. Louis Park and Mr. Jason Park, who have come all the way from South Korea to join us here. And in addition, lastly but not the least, I would also like to thank for all the families and friends and advisors and investors and all the other people who have come here to have a moment with me and to support me as much as possible. In fact, this idea of a startup came from my guru, Professor Kamakoti. In the start of this year, I had gone to Kamakoti sir very excited to show him my admit offer of an MBA letter from London Business School. But when I broke the news to him and I came out of the meeting, I was very confused. I was in a very confused state of mind, mainly because though sir was very, very happy about my admit letter, he also asked me to have a meeting with my father next week, the following week. And as you know, parent-teacher meetings are very nerve-wracking and very scary for the students themselves. So I didn't know what to expect from sir. But it was only after the meeting the next week that I got to know that sir had very, very big plans for me. And he had asked me to continue working as an advisor at HYPERLOOP because I've already spent 2 years of my time at HYPERLOOP. And he had also promised to help me in any sort of venture I started IIT Madras so that I can give back to the society. In fact, the last month, even though I graduated a month ago, I stayed the last month in my friend's room at Godavari Hostel. And I've also spent the last 2 years of my hostel. I've also spent the last 2 years of my BTech life in Godavari Hostel. And every time I enter or exit the hostel, I see a particular alumni's board over there, Dr. Krishna Chirukali. And I admire him a lot. And the first time when he made a donation to IIT Madras, I had met him personally. And I was very happy to meet him, and I hope to give back to IIT Madras just as he did. And at last, I would like to thank all of you to come here and share this moment with me, and I hope to get all of your blessings today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having us here. It's a great day. You just launched a startup, and many congratulations to IIT Madras. Once again, I think NIRF ranking yesterday you topped it, and it's a pride for the whole of our country. The research that happens at IIT Madras. You have excellent people, of course. Kamakoti sir, we all know, a very big pioneer, academician, and a person who is making sure that IIT Madras is still going strength to strength each particular year. And I personally believe a person whom the Indian society should celebrate more is Mr. Shivashankar, who is with us. And we have to celebrate more in a different era, maybe just a few decades back. The kind of pioneering work he has done, especially in telecom and different startups. And right now, completely getting into the wellness space, he's in the longevity space. He's completely reimagining how people want to live. And he's targeting 95, 100, 110 years, just like that he's talking. That kind of a startup which he is running now. You will not believe a person at 67 years of age, a successful guy who has exited multiple ventures, again into another new exciting thing. It is only right that Shivashankar sir has come and launched your startup. Just want to introduce him. I hope and pray that IIT Madras and our society uses Shivashankar sir more and we learn from him more. An entrepreneur has to fight multiple battles, society, bureaucracy, here and there. Now 2024, very confidently we can say, now risk-taking that society is embracing.
Startup was not a cool word many years back. Now people look up to startups, and we all know that Hyperloop is not going to succeed tomorrow morning. And the professor was telling very clearly, 20 years, 30 years, that is the target we all have. The society is willing to wait. That is more important. When you're looking at this kind of project, the society is willing to wait. It is not that society is placing so much burden on you, saying that tomorrow morning you do it, day after tomorrow you do it. And more importantly, when two young gentlemen like you sitting here, you must be about 22, 23 now. So you're willing to give 20 years of your life to this. That's more important. And when a human being has decided to give his youth to a project, please understand that. This is not an easy thing. And you can just get in, start a company, 3-4 years, do an exit, come out, make money, buy a beach house, that's a different thing. But here, as a student unit, cohesively, you have decided that, yes, I'm going to put my heart and soul into it. You have to solve thousands of problems in the next 20 years. Solve one, material science, everything you got to solve. Right now, the society might think it might not work because the Virgin Hyperloop, one Hyperloop is shutting down. The money they are selling it and coming out, they felt it is unviable. The Nevada desert, whatever, the track they have created, again they are selling it off. Now, a country like Dubai with so much money, the Dubai Port Authority, DP World has bought it out. If you look at the world, how the Hyperloops are behaving, it is not very encouraging per se, because the big guys want to do an exit and they don't want to put more money there. And Virgin has completely come out. You know the story, everybody knows the story. But we should not be bothered by that, because somebody has gone to Henry Ford and asked him, how did you get a car? You all know the very famous story. Henry Ford clearly said, if I've gone to people and asked whether you want a car, people would have said, I don't want a car. I want a faster running horse. Because people just can't imagine what a car is. People are so used to driving a horse, then people must have told Henry Ford, give me a faster running horse, that is better for me. But there is always a pioneer, probably a risk taker, probably that crazy guy. Probably the world might call them as foolish, whatever names we might give it to you in the next 5-7 years. One guy has to believe and say it is possible. That is why Sivashankaran sir is sitting here. Kamakoti ji is able to create a lot of startups, and the young people are willing to put 20 years of life into it. So, one, to answer your question, society itself has started embracing change. Like Professor Kamakoti ji said, I am possible. I was thinking, you are here. IIT Madras is here. Possible, the word is here. I think in IIT Madras, everything is possible. And possible combining. Impossible becomes possible. Because you've done it in Agnikul. You are just watching with a lot of wonderness the kind of thing you are able to do. So it is possible. You just have to be patient. And you have to understand, this is a country where things are slowly getting its own pace, bullet train. When we conceived the project, it was 1,06,000 crore. Now it is 1,60,000 crore. Because there's a problem with the land acquisition. Now it has shot up by 54,000 crore. Now the question is, still the country has to go ahead and do it. Every project you do an interest calculation and say the cost of interest is 1%, it is 0.5%, it is unviable, I'm not going to do it, then probably you cannot get into the future. America is always a great superpower because they were able to think far ahead. Let's just look at chips. There is a Fairchild semiconductor company, then Intel came. Then they wanted to put it in a missile. Then they took it to the space mission. Then they made a chip. One fine day in 1980s, they decided the cost of one chip from $100, they brought it down to $2. They said, I'm going to make it commercial so that people can take this chip and start putting in commercial things. That's the history of chip. One fine day, the government of America thought, I'm going to make this military technology to a commercial user so that I'm going to cut it down by 80% the chip cost. Now, where are we? We are talking of 13.8 billion chips in one transistor in the latest Apple iPhone. So, 100% I'm very sure the country will stand with you. And this kind of investment is humongous. And the problem you are trying to solve is just out of the world. And we can't even imagine 20-30 years from now how the world will be. So, just you have to trust the society as a whole investing on you and government playing a role. And the Honorable Prime Minister, the Kamakoti sir, was telling himself, might be inclined to come and start the project. Then the world will come and see in IIT Madras what we are capable of doing. But my only thing is be patient. It's not an easy thing. A lot of failures you will see, 100%. But be at it. And when you solve the problem, you are advancing humanity by multiple civilizations and centuries. Because Hyperloop comes, you are reimagining every single thing. Madras to Bangalore, sir was telling just 20 minutes. As net zero carbon neutral, there is no carbon that is going to be safe, no accidents. And people can do so much things in their one life, which is 70, 80, 100 years, how many years we live. If Shivchandran sir is able to crack that code, probably 120 years in the next 1 year. So much we can do in one life. So just be at it, be patient. Just don't get bothered by small problems you will face here and there. Next year, the society will stand with you more. Maybe 5 years from now, it will stand with you more. 10 years from now, it will stand with you more. Just be at it, things will happen. Thank you.
And I'm so happy to say this Hyperloop is like a temple car projects. All industrialists in India and the big corporates in India should become devotees and pull that temple for successful execution. Any great idea in the paper when it comes, the people should not accept it. If they accept, it is not a great idea. It is a well-known concept. Hyperloop is a concept today. It will become, or it is like a seed. IIT will put water into that. The seed will germinate and it will become a plant and tree. And of course, the seed will go away. So he is a seed. He will fade away, but he will create a tree. And the tree will be useful for the future generations. In 20 years' time, Hyperloop will be a reality, but in 10 years' time, we can transport goods. 20 years, we can transport people, cars. Think like this. A lorry loaded with 20 tons of material, today we can drive to a railway station and put it in a train so that the train will transport the lorry to Bombay and the driver will be sitting in the compartment, and when it arrives Bombay, he will take the lorry and drive away because then it will save fuel, save time. So Hyperloop can be like that. Someday, I imagine, maybe 30 years, okay, we can put our car and the people also. It will take us to Bangalore in 30 minutes and then we will drive in our own car. Then we come back and we go into a Hyperloop. Okay, that time it may be Adani loop or Mukesh Ambani's loop, I don't know. That is a question which the time will decide. Okay, and then the car will be coming here in 30 minutes. Okay, so I am so happy to be here and I wish this project a good success. And then I am very proud of IITs in India. They create MIT grade students at 1/10 of the cost. As a businessman, I always look at the cost. Affordability is there. And also very difficult to get people like this IIT director who for a meager salary will work. And I am also looking for good IITians to employ as internship to train you to become billionaires. But I will also pay only IIT director salary. Don't come and ask me IBM salary or Microsoft salary. Okay, thank you very much.
That was a very kind words of you, sir, and we totally are onto the path of making the Hyperloop a reality. Koti, sir, that what is so special about this ecosystem that under your guidance that we are having such marvelous outcomes, and I also want to know that how do you see the Hyperloop can be the next one?
So thank you. So one of the prime most important confidence that I'm seeing, very interesting growing trend, is this word impossible is slowly moving away from our students' dictionary. Everything that we say, everybody says, let us check whether it is possible. So this impossible is moving out, and that is something very refreshing for me. Did we ever imagine that we can print a rocket engine in 72 hours? Now we are printing 4 rocket engines in a single 3D printer in 72 hours. We never imagined. Did we imagine that engine will pass all the tests, the real strict, stringent tests before we launch it into the space? We never thought, but it happened. Did we ever imagine that we will be the first semi-cryogenic fuel rocket launch vehicle that will go absolutely as planned, nowhere near any of even the error benchmark that is permissible error We never touched that. It's absolutely almost the data was very perfect. The way the parabola had come on in the last week of May. Did we ever imagine that? No. Today, Agni-Cool will reduce the cost per kilogram of launch by 1/3. And that will make it impossible for others to compete. And we can also do launch on demand. So these are some things which are far from even imagination, even 3-4 years before. But today it's a success. I also want to tell one more story. That was the 5th attempt the boys made before it just went on the sky. In the 4th attempt, just 90 seconds before the rocket has to be launched, the girl who was the mission director, she said, no, stop. That requires a lot of courage and conviction. For a similar power of stopping a launch just 90 seconds before it's going to go, in some bigger organizations, say ISRO or NASA, you need around 23 years or 25 years of experience. This young girl with 18 months of experience did have the conviction to go and stop the launch, and she was right. I think this is the power the startup will give you. And as Sivasankaran sir told, another very interesting example, if this Mars rover, Mars mission done by other countries, it would be 10 times more costly. And there was a very nice calculation done, which Honorable PM also mentioned, that the auto rickshaw charge in Gujarat will be less per kilometer charge is much higher than the Mars rover, that launch vehicle charge per kilometer. I think we will, and that's what we are seeing in Agri-Cool. I'm very confident that the next launch, we will now bring the cost per kilogram to 1/3 of what other countries are charging for low Earth orbit. And we need 1,100,000 satellites every 5 years, and the average life of these satellites are 5 to 7 years. So we have to keep replacing them. If I need 100,000 satellites in 5 years, I need 20,000 per year, and we have say 365 days. Now you calculate how many we need per day, right? And where are the engines? So this is a game changer that we are doing. I think Hyperloop will also be such a very wonderful game changer.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for your kind words, sir. It was these. So, sir, what I wanted to know is, like, with several other problems also plaguing the nation, with major problems such as education, etc., and whatnot, I wanted to know should such large-scale infrastructure projects be implemented, and what will you say for the naysayers of Hyperloop?
So I think this best is when India was not even thinking about computers, he came with not just Shiva PC, Shiva XT, Shiva 80. I worked on 1985, 86. The first computer I touched was Sivasankaran sir's computer. I think that's so I think the best person to answer this question is Sivasankaran.
Okay. Let me explain you why people buy drill bits. They have a requirement for hole. If you don't have a requirement for hole, will you buy a drill bit? First, what you should do is, you innovate. You have started worrying about things which doesn't concern you. Innovate, replicate, integrate. Keep your integration. Your simple question should be, how can I make money today, sir? I have not completed technology. Set up this as a research project and sell this to 20 foreign universities. Ask them to pay money. Take that money. Director told you one thing, subtly. Please prove with your 443. Okay. See, when I started ESL, I was the first guy who said, old Tamil Nadu local call. And then I said, for receiving call, you don't need pay. Third thing I said, after night 10 o'clock, it's a perishable inventory. Okay. So I said, night 10 o'clock to morning 6 o'clock, don't pay anything. That was the first 2 years, the largest amount of love marriages happened in Tamil Nadu. And I am responsible for that. Okay. And then You are worried about India's problem. We have a CEO, Prime Minister Modi, he will find we are going to make a 5 trillion economy. Only 2% of the people are paying income tax. For that itself, India is so rich. You imagine what happens, 60% of the people pay income tax. You are worried about things what you don't need to worry. There is a word in English, nowhere. Now, remove the W from where and make it now here. You are now here. So continue from here. And then you make yourself attractive. Then investors will come. Don't go and beg here. We are not here for begging. We are here for attracting. Follow that for your dating also. Okay? You have to attract. Demonstrate your ability that you have a future financial resources. The whole country will be with you. People like the word profit. Nobody likes loss. Okay? So demonstrate that. I will tell you a small application. Don't go to airport and down. In the hospitals, if you have 1,000-room hospital, the patient case sheet has to be transported. The drug has to be transported. The IV injection has to be transported. Come out with a small loop where from one room to another room it will go fast. See, think of the technology like this. When Marconi or whoever has invested telephone, they removed the distance from you. You don't need to be in front of me. That is what he did. Whether you called from America or called from in a Leela hotel lobby to me, what the phone did, it removed the distance. What the mobile did, you can be going in car, I can be traveling in my private plane, we both can talk. It gave a mobility. Okay, your Hyperloop per kilo cost comes down very cheap. Time is money. So the demand will come. You are worried about things other than technology. You focus. You need focus. Only one word. Sleep with focus. Wake up in the morning. Don't think anything other than Hyperloop. Sleep with Hyperloop. Your dream should be Hyperloop. Okay? Then you will live for Hyperloop and win in Hyperloop. Okay? You are asking questions to your director who is responsible morning to evening to run IIT, not business. And what you need is also, see, yesterday I went to a college. I told success is defined as skill plus luck. Great success is 30% more skill which you can hire. Okay? And tons of luck. Okay? So create tons of luck and make sure you achieve your objective. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.